The Arkansas National Guard ringed the school with orders to admit only the white students. It shocked the country. State troops were now being used to prevent enforcement of federal law. At the center of the crisis were these 9 teenagers, selected by the school board because of their excellent grades. The first day, 8 of the 9 went to school together, accompanied by their parents and ministers. They expected some harassment, but no real trouble.
You could cut it with a knife, the tension outside the school with these people who had come in from other parts of the state, other states. There were license plates from all other states that were there, people who had come in and were outside our school.
The 8 children and the adults with them were turned away by the National Guard. The 9th student, Elizabeth Eckford, had missed the call to gather with the others before school. Elizabeth Eckford walked alone and met a mob.
Can you tell me your name, please? Are you going to go to school here at Central High? You don't care to say anything, is that right? This girl here was the first Negro, apparently of high school age, to show up at Central High School the day that the federal court ordered it integrated. She was followed in front of the school by an angry crowd, many of them shouting epithets at her.
Well, it has to be the most frightening thing. I mean, because she had a crowd of white people behind her threatening to kill her. She had nobody. I mean, there was not a black face in sight anywhere. Nobody that she could turn to as a friend, except that this woman came out of the crowd and guided her through the mob and onto the bus and got her home safely.
Yo, welcome to the 1804 Show, Chapter 2. I'm your host, Dollar Will, and this is another episode of 1804 History. Hit like, comment, subscribe, share, and let's begin. So tonight, I'm going to be talking about Mr. Ernest Green Jr., who was one out of 9 black students to integrate an all-white high school in Little Rock, Arkansas back in 1957. And what made me wanted to do this story, and I'm going to mainly focus on him because it's 2 parts to this, so I want to make sure that I tell everything, but I really want to focus on him. Because as a black man in America, we aren't told about unsung heroes. And I believe that everybody should get their flowers, especially on this platform and stuff. So he's not very known, but all heroes don't have to wear capes. And it was a time that people had a problem with black students and black kids getting a decent education. And now we just totally lack it. You know, we totally disregard it. In most cases, I don't and won't ever understand that. But it takes courage to be able to be the first of anything, and just the amount of pressure that everybody's counting on you to deliver and to be successful in this experiment, because it was an experiment and really just was used as a ploy to see if these kids would break, and seeing that these kids will be successful in the attempt. Because when you sit back and think about it, 1957 was only 67 years ago. So that wasn't that long since we had these rights. And the Brown versus the Board of Education only happened in 1954. So when you sit back and think about it, we really haven't been integrated in public schools for a long time. It's only been for a short period. And this is why we have to take advantage of these type of things, because it was really just troublesome. And September 4th, 1957 was the first day of their senior year. So we talking 17, 18-year-olds here, 12th graders, having to embark on this journey and embark on this burden. And just imagine going to school and you're met with a white mob. And we're not talking or 100 people. We're talking about thousands of people outside constantly every day, harassing you, threatening you, calling you racist slurs and spitting on you, throwing bricks at you, threatening to kill you, and all types of stuff. But I'm only going to focus on him because he was practically the leader out of the 9 who was more determined to get his high school diploma and go off to college to practice law. So I'm only going to focus on him because he endured a lot. And all of them went through some shit, but he had to practically go through a lot because of the fact that he was the man and stuff. So, but yeah, stuff like this really breaks my heart because it's just, we don't take full advantage of these opportunities that our ancestors were able to do. Because in order for us to have a better life, in order for us to become somewhat enriched, it always got to be that one person that is a risk taker and that's brave enough to handle all that trauma and handle all the stress that they had to undergo on a daily basis. Because you have the National Guard marching you through your classes and sitting with you in order to protect you. And these kids were, highly terrified on a daily basis. And I couldn't imagine going through something and your president has to address things. And because the governor at the time, he wasn't really supportive, and he was a huge bigot as well. And just the fact that all of this is just based on, I don't want your kids to go to school with my kids type thing. Because you would see if it was worse, or you would see that it was something serious, but this is school that we're talking about. So I always just inform people that no matter what, you gotta endure a whole lot because of the fact that you determine and that you want to be the best at something. But success always comes at a price. And the price of being the first is being bullied on a consistent basis and being hazed and being threatened and stuff. Because he had to go to school practically every day with a switchblade to get the kids off of him. And the other kids were beaten up. They were pushed down a flight of stairs and spat on. Food was thrown at them. Someone urinated on his gym clothes when he was in gym class. And it was just a whole lot of nonsense. And the rest of the 8 kids were either transferred out of school, expelled for standing up for themselves, but he was the only one that was tough enough to endure all of that, and was the first person in that high school history, first Negro to graduate on top of his class, and was able to continue on his education by going to law school at Michigan State University and graduated with his master's. So to make a long story short, he's a hero. He's one of the catalysts of the civil rights movement, and went on to do other great things and spoke at colleges and many documentaries about this man, and he's passed on by now, but it just, I can't imagine, even with my own personal life, it's a lot of things that I want to do. It's a lot of hell that I embark on or experience, but it's just hearing stories like that, it's just inspiring. It's just one of those things that you just have a different perspective on just with your daily life, and you just realize that people have to go through much tougher things in order for me to have a fair shot, to have a chance at life. And this is why you got to make sure that you don't be too full of yourself to try to disregard what our ancestors done, because these weren't weak people. These people were strong. And some battles isn't on the battlefield, but it's in just everyday life, whether if it's a job, whether if it's at school, or whether if it's just at church or on the street. So you just have to give these people their commemoration. So, but yeah, I'm done with this story, and I will be doing a part 2 on the other students as well, because it's this little girl, Elizabeth Eckford, I want to talk about, because I just think that her story is another video, because she was one of the students that went there with him, and the stuff that happened to her was really painful on her first day. So again, thank y'all for tuning in, watching this video. Hit like, comment, subscribe to the channel. The 1804 Show, Chapter 2. I'm out. Peace. Have a good day. Bye.
Talking with you is one of the
Ernest, what's it been like this year? Has it been what you expected, or?
Well, from the beginning it wasn't quite what we expected, but adding all things together and putting all sides together, I think it's turned out to be, well, I would say an interesting year. I guess that would be an understatement, but when you put all the sides together, we've had some nice times as well as some rough times, and I think all in all, it's worked out rather nicely.
Ernest, what are your own plans from now on? You going to college?
Well, I plan to go to college, and I plan to major in pre-law.
What school are you going to?
I plan to attend, at the moment, Michigan State.